not talking ego or flexing your stance. We're talking kneeling before God with calloused hands. See, every man's a leader, whether he knows it or ran. So the question ain't if you lead, it's who you're leading and where you stand. Be a man, the priest of your home, that's sacred ground. You represent your family before God, don't back down. Lift them in prayer when they're weary, confess when you fall. Cause a priest ain't perfect, he just answers the call. Intercede like Job did before the fire got hot. Plead the blood over your house whether they're ready or not. When the devil starts whispering through the cracks in the door, you hit your knees first. That's holy war. Be a man, not a tyrant or king on a throne. Be the first to repent and the last to throw stones. Be the wall when the storm hits the calm in the plan. Be a priest, be a prophet, be a provider, be a man. Oh. Be a man. Oh. Be a provider, be a man. Now speak truth, not opinions dressed up in disguise. You represent God before your family's eyes. Preach by example, not by empty talk. Your kids will follow footsteps, not your sidewalk chalk. Deuteronomy said it, teach it day and night. When you sit, when you rise, when you walk in the light. Be the mouthpiece of heaven in the culture gone numb. Even prophets get mocked, but you still overcome. Be a man, not a tyrant, no king on a throne. Be the first to repent and the last to throw stones. Be the wall when the storm hits the calm in the plan. Be a priest, be a prophet, be a provider, be a man. Be a provider, be a man. Provide like it's worship, protect like it's prayer. You were built for the burden, so don't act unaware. It ain't just paychecks, it's presence, provision, and peace. It's holding them close when the chaos won't cease. You fight for their hearts, not just locking the door. You guard their minds from what creeps through the floor. When the wolves start howling outside of your plan, you stand between, cause that's what it means to be a man. We fail, we fall, we break and bend, but God still calls us to rise again. Not cause we're worthy, because he is. Not cause we're strong, because he lives. A righteous man falls 7 times, but gets back up every time. Father, teach us to be the men you've called. Priests at the altar, prophets in the hall. Providers of truth, protectors of peace. Servants, not rulers, bound to your feet. Forgive us when we fail, refine us when we can't. Make us men after your heart, and help us be a man. Be a man. Be a provider, be a man. Be a man. Be a provider, be a man.